Hippity hoppity, your meme is now my property. Welcome back to the Derailed podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck was that opening? You didn't clear that with me. Fucking shitbag.
I, I, I honestly don't know what I was going for with that, but anyways, yeah. Welcome back. It has been actually. I have this pulled up right in front of me just so I know off. Oh wait, I didn't have the other thing pulled up offhand.
I can simplify it. It's been forever.
Yeah, it has been a long fucking time. But if I want to get specific, episode 10. So a year ago was when our last episode was uploaded.
A
And the last time I believe we attempted to do one of these was August 8th of 2021. I have the recording sitting right in front of me.
Oh, that shit still hasn't been released?
No.
God damn it. So we gotta release that before we can release this. God.
I mean, maybe, or I can, now that we've talked about it, I can actually like release
Release?
release it in hindsight, you know?
Alright.
Either fucking way, we'll figure some bullshit out. But yeah, it's been a long time since we've fucking done one of these. And yeah, fucking life just gets in the way, man.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah, it does.
like life just happens and there's nothing we can really do about that. But we're here now. Fucking Fish, what have you been up to? What games have you been playing?
I've been playing some Elden Ring and getting my shit stomped. I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight and fucking actually doing alright there.
Okay.
Been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 online and been having a fucking blast with that.
You and fucking like a fuckload of other people apparently. We talked about this one of the last times we talked, but like apparently the like people were, I don't know if it's still an ongoing issue, but like can people like get into the game yet, or is it still like one of the, is it still a crapshoot?
So, for anyone who doesn't know what happened, with the release of the expansion Endwalker, which at the moment is the most recent release, there was a massive influx of players, so much so that Square Enix like flipped shit and wasn't allowing any new purchases for the game and the expansion.
So
or,
wait, like they just
new accounts being made.
they just took it off the fucking store?
Yeah. They ceased sales entirely. For anyone who is still who already had the game, whether that be free trial or paid,
Uh-huh.
because the free trial that they have at the moment is like totally free for base game and first expansion, and no subscription required until you get past that.
Right.
And that's just how it's going. But what happened was there were so many people. There were queue times of like tens of thousands of people.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And if you sat idle for too long while that queue was ticking down, it would pull you out, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Because I remember a lot
no.
of people rage quitting about
Oh.
about that. Yeah, fun times.
But I mean, so but you've been able, you and like your group, I'm just gonna call them the four initiative crew. You guys have been able to get on.
Yeah. So when I was able to pick up the game and start playing was the day the paid subscription sales came back.
Okay.
So I was able to pick up the game, I just got the complete edition, so it had all of the expansions and all that, plus a like first 30 days free because I was a new player.
Right.
So, that was the other thing is free trials can only be played on a new account. If you tried it before, it's not going to allow it.
So is it a new account? I'm assuming this isn't the kind of game where people just fucking, oh, I've gotten to this and so I can't fucking do anything anymore. Let's just make a new account. I'm assuming this isn't that kind of game because it's an RPG. I'm assuming there's a lot of grinding involved. I don't know. I haven't played an online RPG in years.
Not as much grinding as you would think, but yeah, like that's just part of the MMO experience. That it's
Yeah,
just how it goes.
that's
But
why I'm not huge on them.
actually, a couple of things that, in my opinion, set this apart from the rest. So one, you have a bunch of different servers to choose from,
Okay.
and with a subscription, you have up to 8 characters that you can make for a server, and you can
Okay.
do that for every server that they have listed. They've got a bunch in North America, they got a bunch in Europe, Oceania, Asia. So long as you can connect, you can make like over 100 characters easily.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Um, but of course, that's not exactly practical. But so long as you pay for the subscription, use the same account, you can play indefinitely.
Right.
Um, but one of the nice things is there once you get through the main story quests, the MSQs,
Mm-hmm.
for each expansion, you can do a new game plus and go through it again if you wanted to,
Huh.
which is really neat. I've never known an MMO to, well, one, have a definitive story that
Yeah.
isn't hidden by super small things.
Or it's not being completely told through like raid events and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like I know like God, what game am I fucking thinking of? There's a few games out there that do that. Like
And it's also not, oh, we're just throwing stuff in and then creating a story with elements outside of the game like World of Warcraft.
yeah, yeah. It's like the story is primarily told through these giant raid events.
Yeah. But so this one actually does have a story. It is one of the defining features of the game because you can't progress through the game without getting through the story. So, like, that's one of its main draws is it actually has a story, and that is its main focus, even being an MMO. It's wild.
Interesting. So it sounds like to me it sounds like this game has it is exactly what Dragon Ball Z Kakarot had the potential to be.
Yeah,
Where
but just
there is a
like
there is a, streamlined story experience that you really do have to get through.
mhm.
And then once you reach the end of that, then you reach the big open world, massive online, typical MMO gameplay.
Well, I mean, you have the MMO experience from the get go. It's just to progress through and get new things and level up and that sort of stuff. You do kind of have to go through uh this these main story quests to unlock those features, which is in some people's opinions kind of a drawback because
I
everything's hidden behind the MSQ wall.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, at least if I'm paying to play a game, I want some kind of fucking like I want some kind of like paid experience out of it. I know that's a weird thing to fucking say, but it's just like I've kind of been put into this habit for so long, and honestly, I'm surprised Black Ops 4 didn't strike me in a very bad way because of this, but like it's gotten to a point where like if I'm paying for a game, I assume that it's because it has some kind of campaign main story quest experience to it. Whereas a lot of games are doing this now where Halo is a perfect example. You can play Halo's online multiplayer right now for free. Doesn't matter if you're on Xbox or PC. You can go and play that shit right fucking now, whether you own the game or not.
Mhm.
But if you want to play the campaign, then you've got to put down the I don't know what it is, 60, $70.
Yeah.
Then that's what you got to fucking do. I actually really like that. Honestly, it sounds like this is a model that a fucking MMO that nobody was fucking happy about should have fucking taken example from.
Uh, it's actually funny you say that because Final Fantasy 14 Online was a critical failure
Yeah,
when it first released.
I was actually gonna bring that up. Uh, what I thought was interesting about all of this, like, increased interest in this game is, from what I can remember, this game was either about to come out or it did come out right about the time that I left California. Or right before. I know we had talked about it at some point in time, right? Because when was this game announced?
I believe Final Fantasy 14 came out or was announced in like 2012, 2013, but let me fact check that.
Yeah, because, like, didn't it come out alongside, like, an expansion to 13? It
Oh,
was like,
okay.
hey,
So,
we know most of you fuckers hate fucking lightning and shit like that, but we're putting out this new thing for Final Fantasy 13 that has to deal with lightning. So if you're not interested with that, here's an online experience.
okay, so Final Fantasy 14 the 1.0 came out in 2010.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
the Final Fantasy 14 that we have now, otherwise subtitled as A Realm Reborn,
Mhm.
came out in 2013. So the entire thing. So uh I'm not obviously I just started the game this year.
Right.
Or yeah, this year. So I wasn't around when everything happened. But so what Square Enix did, as far as I understand, from just osmosis of hearing all of this, um, they had a massive server-wide event, uh, which the end of it was essentially this cataclysmic event that ended with in story all of these mages, all of these magic users pooling their mana together and pulling everyone from this event and firing them 5 years into the future, which is where Realm Reborn picks up.
Mhm.
So this is 5 years into the future. This cataclysm has ended. There's a whole new story with it, but all of like even all of the OG users, everyone who is a part of this 1.0 base game,
Mhm.
um, are included in the credits as like special thanks and that sort of stuff, and given special perks for the Realm Reborn.
Well, I mean, yeah, cuz it's like, fuck, you stuck it out with us through everything? Have a bunch
And
of free shit.
and it's cool because they those players, when they make a new character, have a different opening animation. They themselves are referenced in universe.
Right, because they were
Um,
there.
mhm. And it's just those OG users are tied into like every almost every aspect of A Realm Reborn, and it's super cool.
Dude, that's gotta feel so fucking cool to be like, yeah, you might be good at this game, but I'm literally in the lore of the Final Fantasy universe. Like, that is, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, with the things that I take interest in, that is fucking huge bragging rights.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
in my circles, that is huge bragging rights.
oh yeah. But yeah, so over the course of the 2 years that the original game was available, um they took time to revamp everything. And then the servers they had the event, the servers shut down, and then started up alpha testing for what eventually became A Realm Reborn, and then had the 2.0 release.
Oh, okay. So what basically everybody's playing now is the phoenix that rose from the garbage fire that was the original run.
Yes.
Got it.
Totally new story, totally new game engine, totally new infrastructure. Everything about it is revamped and like yeah, it's just totally remade.
That's
It is its own entity that references something before.
wow. That sound
Yeah.
That's actually really fucking cool. Well, I'm glad you've been having a blast doing that. Like, because, like, I know you've been doing the Dead by Daylight for quite a while now, and that game is fucking. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where its popularity is at the moment. I know it's kind of been dormant for a while, hasn't it? I haven't really heard of anything getting released since I think it was the Resident Evil pack
Okay, so
or the Silent
they
Hill
have a
pack.
new DLC that comes out or a major patch that comes out every 3 months, or like every month and a half. So they have 4 DLC a year, uh, and then they have mid chapter things that they release for like bug fixes and like little tweaks here and there.
Just patches.
Yeah. Uh, nope, that's not what I want to click on. But the most recent one that came out 4 days ago is actually called Sadako's Rising, and that has a new killer and new survivor from the Japanese version of The Ring.
Ooh, interesting. Oh, wait a minute. I think I maybe did see something about that.
But before that, it was actually oh god, I forget exactly what the DLC is called. Artist Calling or something like that. But it was an original killer. It wasn't a licensed killer.
Yeah, because
Whereas this one is.
isn't that kind of what they've been doing? Like, they'll do a licensed killer, and then they'll do an original, and then they'll do a licensed one, and then they'll do an original.
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least lately they have.
Right. Well, I mean, I know the fucking, like, the white whale of this fucking game is Jason Voorhees. Like,
Which that's all up to Sean Cunningham.
yeah.
Because he's the one who holds the rights, and after the ultimately shit show that was Friday the 13th, the game, which I really enjoyed.
I
just
did
hate
enjoy
the fact that
Ugh.
like yeah, it was the
I think we've talked about this before on the podcast.
yeah. So I'll just keep it short. The lawsuits and the dwindling player base plus the abundance of hackers
Yeah.
just killed the game.
Well, that and toxic gameplay as well. I remember we tried to play a game, I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 Friday the 13th ago for a stream, and like the griefing was just insane.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't part of the group that was already, like, that was already there when you got into the lobby, then you were being fucking ganged up on. Survivors and Jason alike. Like, I remember specifically from that fucking stream, like, we had Jason right fucking behind us, and some a couple of asshats in the fucking car just came and ran us over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't stand that shit.
Yeah, but like,
But
yeah,
but
I
yeah.
hope eventually, because like literally every other classic slasher and even new slasher are in this fucking game and beyond, even because I know there's like, I know the Demogorgon from Stranger Things is in there. I think you've also got Nemesis and Pyramid Head from Resident Evil and Silent Hill, respectively.
Yeah, I'll actually go through the licensed killers if you want.
Oh, please.
Because we've got the first licensed killer that we ever had was Michael Myers.
Of course. A perfect fit.
Fucking amazing.
Especially because I remember when this game first came out, like, it basically was, when it first came out, like, hey, this is basically the same thing as that Friday the 13th game, except we've got a bunch of different killers.
Mm. But yeah, so we had Myers. We got a couple of survivors that were licensed, like Bill from Left 4 Dead.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ash. And then we've got killers like Leatherface,
Mm-hmm.
Freddy Krueger. We got not Jigsaw, but Amanda,
Yep.
who is the pig.
Isn't,
After that, we've got Ghostface.
Yep.
Pyramid Head, Nemesis, Hellraiser, fairly recently.
Really? Is it Pinhead
Yeah,
specifically?
it
Okay.
was. Although he does have a linked cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know why it has such negative reviews. I guess people didn't care for it. I
Uh,
enjoyed it,
can you
but
send me a link so I can take a look at it?
it's I'm just seeing it on the Steam store.
Oh, okay. Uh,
But yeah, the Hellraiser chapter has Pinhead, and he has a linked cosmetic. That's the Chatterer.
oh, okay. The Chatterer Cenobite. Which one? I can't remember which one that is. Hold on, let me look it up.
That's the one with the wired up teeth. And he's, that
Honestly,
one.
I'm surprised that people didn't like that they went with that one. But maybe
The
it's because, I mean, that's basically what Nemesis fucking looks like.
how he plays is a little odd. Because
I'm just going based off of appearance specifically. Like, I forgot how
yeah,
much this thing looked like fucking Nemesis.
yeah. And then of course the newest licensed killer is Sadako.
Right.
And she she's a little like frustrating to go against.
Oh, is she?
A little bit because well, one, she's very small.
Okay.
So it's like trying to see her over loops can be difficult unless you're looking for the red stain.
Mm-hmm.
So mind gaming can get a little out of hand. On top of that, she has a mechanic that makes her like blink in and out of existence.
Fun.
So she can manifest or demanifest. And if she demanifests, she blinks in and out intermittently. Or if she's beyond a certain distance, she is totally invisible.
Ooh.
And while she's demanifested, she can actually teleport to TVs, like big ass tube TVs that are around the map.
Oh, that's cool. That's really fucking cool.
You know what's fucked though? If you're too close to it when she teleports, you can get a notch in a thing called condemned. And if that bar fills up without you getting rid of it, which getting rid of is take a tape from one TV, take it to another TV that's actually marked, like you can see the aura of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll drop some of the bars.
Okay.
If you're not able to do that and it builds up fully, it turns red. If she knocks you down while it's red, she can insta kill you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, she has a hidden Mori.
So
I
I'm
love it.
assuming that's the reference to like the 7 days thing.
The 7 days, yeah, essentially.
Got it. Okay.
Because yes, there are 7 notches that need to fill.
That was going to be my next question. Like, is it 7 like little ticks on the bar?
Yes.
Okay.
So you fill up one if you're too close to the TV, and if you take a tape and hold onto it for too long, it just slowly fills up.
Oh, Jesus.
So if like if you take too long and she's like just like, yeah, no, I see you got one of my tapes, like go fuck yourself, my guy, stay away from this TV. And then downs you, then you're fucked.
God damn.
But yeah.
So yeah, Dead by Daylight still fucking going strong. Hell yeah, dude. And then you've got me on the other fucking spectrum where I'm excited to be playing Switch games again. Like fucking
But the question is, what games?
Obviously, I've been playing the Givens for someone like me. We're not going to talk about one just yet, just simply because that is the main topic of this podcast today. But I've been playing fucking Smash Brothers. I've actually been playing a lot of fucking Smash Brothers because I didn't pick it up at launch, which I mean, I don't really regret because I picked up the game at a point where we have all of the characters. Like, there are no more characters being released for this game. Um,
In before E3 this year, where they announce a new Smash character.
I mean, if they do, cool, but I honestly can't really think of anyone that would really get me excited. Because
Well, I mean, it's got to be part 2 of the fucking Kingdom Hearts DLC, because they're literally putting Donald in the new Pokemon game.
Oh god. Oh
I'm
my
sorry, I
god.
couldn't help
No,
myself.
hold on. Actually, real quick, can we talk about how much, cuz I have a Switch, so this is the perfect time to bring this up. Can we talk about how dog shit these fucking cloud ports of the Kingdom Hearts series is on the Switch?
Oh, I haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it either because I'm not willing to pay money for a cloud title. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not, like,
I would rather pay for a service than the game itself.
yeah, like, I know that's really weird to say, but, like, because, no, yeah, no, it's just, I would, it's the same reason why I don't like PlayStation Now, you know? I don't like the idea of paying for a service and not being able to download the majority of the games to my console. Like, that's just annoying. That's why I like Game Pass. Like, Game Pass is fucking perfect for that. Hashtag not an ad.
I think the only time I would be okay with it is if it's like if that's what the thing is supposed to be, like Stadia.
Which
Like
has
that's
also,
Stadia's entire shtick.
which Stadia has crashed and burned. I think they're discontinuing service.
Oh no shit. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, hold on a second. I think, let me look it up really quick.
Oh fuck.
Stadia over. Just over. Okay, so it hasn't been dropped completely, but it has been deprioritized as of February 2022.
Yo.
Uh,
All right
and
then.
okay,
Get
yeah.
fucked, cloud gaming.
As of February 1st, Google shut down the internal Stadia studio. So any, like, quote unquote Stadia original games that were being worked on are just done. They're in the bin.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, so I think Stadia's probably not long for this world. I think the big reason why cloud gaming hasn't taken off the way that it should be in this day and age is because I'm just gonna flat out say it. It's fucking ISPs. Like,
Yeah.
you need way more internet. You need way more fucking, like, you need a way stronger internet connection to support cloud gaming than a lot of people think you do. Like,
Yeah.
if your internet connection can barely handle streaming, like watching a Twitch stream at 1080 60, what do you think a game is gonna do? Like, that's the bottom line here, is it really just comes down to your internet service provider.
Hey, I've got online class in a minute. Can you get off Netflix?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh god.
Like, dude, you're lagging out my hentai game. Can you stop watching The Mandalorian? Like, do
Hey, fuck you.
you know how hard it is to beat my meat to 3 frames a second? Come on now.
Fuck your story. I'm trying to get my rocks off. It's not November anymore. I'm just trying to come and go.
I think the thing that makes the situation even more fucked up is the guy standing there butt naked except for a Mandalorian helmet.
Oh god. What have we gone to? What have we devolved into?
Yo, can you stop fucking... I just got this new Rule 34 game. Like, can you quit ruining this for me? Anyways, we got way off topic there. Anyways, the cloud versions of Kingdom Hearts are actual fucking garbage. I could see what they were trying to do, maybe. Like, hey, here's something until I'm assuming they're working on actual ports.
Doubt it.
I yeah, probably. Um if they do, it's been outsourced to another company.
Yeah, because I mean, like it. It had to. I really do feel like a game like that would have had to have been like made on PC or made for PC.
Mhm.
Um, that way it could be ported out and be able to adjust settings. But with a game that, or with games that massive,
Mhm.
it would just be difficult. Because I mean, like Dead by Daylight's on the Switch. At the same point, it's a, I wouldn't say buggy, but it doesn't perform as well as it
Oh,
could.
no, actually that was one of the things I really wanted to get into in this first segment of the podcast.
Oh,
So there are two games that I have fallen in love with over the course of quarantine, and I
is it
now
the hentai game?
no, it's not the hentai game. Anyways, so and those two so I've been playing these games a lot. Picked them both up on PlayStation first, then got them on my other console, the Xbox, then eventually on PC, and now I have these games on Switch. Those games being Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and Doom Eternal. Xenoverse 2 really isn't much to write home about. It's basically just Xenoverse 2 at 1080 but 30 frames a second, so that kind of sucks.
Oof.
Makes playing it on PC look amazing though.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, I've been playing a lot of the Switch version recently, and then earlier today I fired up the PC version. I was like, wow, this looks gorgeous. It's just like
Oh
it's on
God.
it's making me appreciate my PC a lot more, honestly.
Well, that's great. You should be appreciating it anyways.
Well,
You
I mean,
shit.
I feel like I get to like certain points where it's just kind of like cuz like I definitely got to a point with my PC where I'm just like where like I was definitely taking the quality I was getting out of it for granted. Because like I'll go and play like a game that I own on PC on one of my consoles, I'll come back to it on PC and I'll just be like, "Oh my god, like wow, like there actually is a huge difference. This is amazing."
Uh-huh.
Doom Eternal on the other hand, I got to talk oh my god. I'm not going to say that it's a travesty.
Oh no.
I really want to do everything that I can to try to not sound like I'm bashing the Switch port. Because I really don't want it to come off as that because it's the same game, it's still just as enjoyable, but there were a lot of compromises made to get it running on the Switch. Like they didn't pull like any tricks of like, "Oh yeah, let's just fill this area with fog." Like they didn't do any of that. I didn't know what to expect. So, I got it recently. I was just telling you about this right before we started.
Right.
I was on the Switch the other night. I went to the news page. I was like, "Oh, hey, Bethesda games are on sale." Went and took a look. Hell yeah, deluxe edition of Doom Eternal on the Switch, $30. Let's go. Bought it. Fucking went to bed while it downloaded. Woke up the next morning, fired it up. Oh boy. Um. So on the TV, I would say that the game is probably running. I don't even know what the max output resolution of the Switch is.
So 720 30 or 720 60 for handheld, and 1080 60 on the dock.
No, this is a lie. Stop saying that the OLED can go up to fucking 1440.
Yeah, no, it can't. It's still locked at 720.
I'm so
I
fucking
don't know what the fuck
tired.
people
I'm
are.
so fucking tired of seeing that crack smoke everywhere. Okay.
There is zero difference in resolution when it comes to OLED Switch versus original Switch.
Right.
It has everything to do with the panel and color accuracy, sharpness of the picture.
Right.
But resolution, there's no difference.
So docked it does 1080, tablet it does 720. Up to in both of those situations.
Right.
Let's take a look.
Some things I wouldn't doubt if there's dynamic resolution.
Oh yeah. So it looks like it does run at 30 frames a second. It looks like. Okay, so here's the thing to me. I can't confirm or deny these articles. Here's just what I'm going to say. While docked, it looks like it is at 1080 30. Like, there's clearly a frame drop from what I'm used to, but it still looks really good. But it does... Okay, so here's what it... Docked, it looks like 1080 30, but resolution quality, so like if you were on PC, resolution quality is probably 80%.
So it might be
So it's a little
undersampled.
It's a little chunky. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You take it off the dock. Oh, another thing, no FOV slider. Super disappointed about that.
Gross.
Because yeah, like I usually play this game at fucking 110, but now I'm stuck. I think default it's I want to say 90 or 80.
I would not be surprised if it's about 90.
So that sucks. The UI is massive.
Oh,
I don't know why, but maybe it was a rendering thing, but it wouldn't make sense since the heads up display is fucking opaque, so you can see through it. But yeah, the UI is massive, and you can't change the size of it like you can on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. You can't fucking change the size of the UI, so you're stuck with this massive UI. You take it off the dock. Somebody went ape shit with the anti-aliasing.
My guy, can you get your cock out of my face? I'm trying to chainsaw this dude.
Like, bro. Like, I'm not saying that it's so blurry that I can't make anything out, but it's blurry.
Does the Doomslayer need glasses? Is that what you're saying?
That's honestly kind of what it looks like. It looks like I need glasses.
Oh, fuck.
Like, that's...
Stigmatism, you've taken another one.
Dude, that is exactly what it looks like. But...
Oh, no.
But at the same time, it feels like it runs at 60 in tablet mode. And it looks a lot... So, here's what... So, docked, you've got 1080, 80%, 30 frames a second. Tablet mode, you've got 720, 100%, 60 frames a second, and a bucket of anti-aliasing. Oh, another one of the big fucking changes. Anytime it goes into a cutscene, you get the fucking cinematic fucking letterboxes on the top and bottom of the screen. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you used to watch a fucking widescreen movie on a fucking 4x3 TV. And you had those black bars at the top and bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking those are on the cutscenes now. Oddly enough, though, makes the cutscenes look really good. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what it is. It makes the cutscenes look really good. But yeah, like, and full disclosure here. Oh, well, why did you fucking buy it if you're just gonna sit here and fucking rag on it? Like I said, I don't want this to come off as me ragging on it, but the main reason I bought this game on the Switch, same reason I bought Xenoverse on the Switch, is so I could have these games on the go wherever I'm at. Like, if I'm sitting on a fucking plane for 5 hours, okay, let's just sit here and get lost in Doom Eternal. Oh, look at that. I got halfway through the game and my fucking flight's over. Rad. Like, that is the main reason I bought these games. They are passable for what they were made for, which is portability.
Except Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts wasn't made for portability, though. That's the stupid part. That's the really stupid part about this cloud thing, is, like, think about, like, I apologize if you bought the cloud ports of Kingdom Hearts, especially if you have a Switch Lite, because you literally can't play it anywhere but your house. And you can't even dock it. So, you can't dock it, which means you can't even hook it up to an OLED dock and get the hard line from that. Which, which, by the way, I don't think having it LAN connected is helping either.
Oof.
So, yeah, fucking, just, yeah, Square, not a. Then again, Square hasn't been making the best decisions recently, and I'm gonna leave that at that, because that's gonna start forcing me to talk about something that's gonna cause me to go on a 3-hour rant. Like,
Although, speaking of Square, there's a couple things that I'm really looking forward to.
oh,
First of all, Final Fantasy 16. I don't think there was anything new at the State of Play event,
that's right.
which makes me sad.
Oh my god, that's right. Final Fantasy 16, the most normcore game that we've gotten so far.
Well,
Well,
okay.
okay, the reason I say that is because the clothing is just so normal in this game. Like, from what I've seen, the clothing just looks like your average clothing. Like, if we're going on a scale of, like, Square's clothing by, like, how elaborate and what's the fucking word that I'm looking for? Eccentric, that's the word. Like, by how elaborate and eccentric they are, you've got Final Fantasy, you've got early Final Fantasy, which is mainly just, like, you know, pretty common stuff, D&D, knights, that kind of shit.
Very medieval.
Yeah, very medieval, very high fantasy. And then, you know, you've got fucking, I think it started with six, and then it carried on through 7 and 8. 7, 8, probably 9 and 10, honestly. You know, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which kind of went for, like, this classy steampunk, but still maintaining the fantasy elements. Like, that's especially prevalent in 7. The steampunk, mostly.
Oh, for sure.
Like, the steampunk elements really shone through in 7. And then recently they've kind of been, you know, and then you've got the next tier up, which is Kingdom Hearts. Like, you've got these kids that live on an island and they wear designer clothes. The fuck's going on here?
And shoes that are bigger than their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, can we not start talking about this?
But then you've got like, you still have, like, elaborate clothing, but it's like, it kind of comes off to me, because I don't know fashion all that well, but, like, with what they have in, like 13 and 15, and a lot of the like less armor based, like the mage based clothing, or like even the starter clothing for different races in Final Fantasy 14 online.
Mm-hmm.
It comes off more as, like, kind of what you would see, like, some of the weirdness with, like, fashion shows, just as your average Joe.
Kind of. Like, where Final Fantasy is at now, and honestly, I would say this started with Advent Children. Because, like, Advent Children kind of started the way that, like, most Final Fantasy games look now. You know, you've got, like the flowy clothes, but still, like, with the armor and unnecessary straps and shit. Kingdom Hearts versus
Oh.
Final Fantasy is basically straps versus zippers. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
I feel like 10 takes the cake on that though.
Straps or zippers?
Yes. That's the thing. I mean, there's a chick in there whose dress is entirely made of belts.
Belt.
Or did you forget that?
I did, because I haven't played 10 in years. I haven't played 10.
Yeah, 10
since the
10 came out in 2001.
Yeah, I haven't played 10 since the
Yeah.
first time I played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, so starting with PS2 era Final Fantasy.
Yeah. But like Final
Yeah, that'd
Fantasy
be
16, like their clothing looks pretty normal. Like it still has like the like the elaborate designs and like the patterns and whatnot, but like
It kind of feels like a cross between like high fantasy medieval that we're kind of used to, but like with Victorian flair to it.
Vampire the Masquerade. Or yeah. You know what I'm trying to say, goddammit.
I don't. Because Vampire the Masquerade with 5th edition, which is the most, or V5, I'm sorry, is like modern. So it's current day.
Oh, okay. See, when I think of Vampire the Masquerade, this is kind of what I think of. It's like I think of modern day clothing with hints of medieval elements.
I kind of feel like that's more, or my brain kind of goes to Castlevania.
And
if we're going with like the vampire,
yeah,
theme.
like especially like I wouldn't say the series, the Netflix series necessarily, but definitely the
like Symphony of the Night or whichever.
Symphony of the Night, like, and like what are the newer ones called? They've got like it's like a reboot series. I can't remember what the fuck they're called. It's like not Shadow of Mordor. That's fucking Lord of the Rings. God damn it! What is it? God damn it! I can't remember what it is.
I'm looking up the series right now.
Yeah, same. Lords of Shadow.
Lords of Shadow, yeah.
Okay, so Shadow was in the title. I'm not that stupid. But yeah, like kind of like those kind of games. It's like, yeah, I feel like, but like, yeah, the clothes just feel so modern and normal from what I've seen in 16. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I actually love that kind of shit.
But yeah, looking forward to that and Forspoken.
What is that?
So, that's a game that apparently has a lot of people on edge right now, and not in a good way, because it's one of those.
Did you just make an edging joke?
No, maybe, I don't know. But like, it's got a lot of people pissed off, and in my opinion, unjustly, because like, it's a what's the term? Isekai or isekai game.
Okay.
So it's like protagonist comes from modern day, but pushed into an alternate universe or like another world.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, it's one of those. But it's like it's about like this younger black chick who got pushed into a fantasy world and is like trying to get shit figured out. It's like awesome. First of all, female protagonist. Like there's been a big boom in like good female protagonists,
Especially in video games.
And I love it.
Oh yeah.
Cuz it's like fucking seeing Selena's story in Returnal, or going through with Aloy in why am I blanking on the name? Horizon,
Oh, okay.
Zero Dawn, and Forbidden West.
Yeah.
We've got Ellie, and more recently Abby in The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2.
I'd say those are arguably even more controversial as well.
For dumbass reasons.
Let's just say that Last of Us fans take the game way too seriously and leave it at that.
Yeah, and I got friends who hopped onto that bandwagon real quick, and it's like, bro, have you even played it? No, but like all the commentators that I trust like are saying that. It's like, so you're parroting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
That, and it's just like, if anybody's out here sitting there going, oh, fuck this game and its super woke agenda, they probably just, there's probably one thing in particular that fucking set them off. Anyways.
Muscular whammon.
Yeah.
Like, how is that such a threat? I don't get it.
I don't fucking know.
Whatever.
Maybe because they want to be stepped on and they just don't want to fucking admit it. But then you've got fucking Lady Dimitrescu and
yeah.
fucking
mommy, sorry. Mommy,
yeah,
sorry.
Fucking,
mommy, sorry.
Step on me, big vampire titty mommy. Like,
big mommy milkers, my guy. That's the difference. Abs versus
yeah, like, I'm sorry. I guess so. But I'm sorry. If you are going to sit there and if you can look me dead in the eye and tell me that there isn't something hot about the idea of a chick that can potentially just you're out of your fucking mind. Am I alone on this one?
You remember my last relationship.
No.
I'll say I'm right in the middle.
Oh no, I didn't mean to go there.
I'll say I'm right in the middle on that one. I get where you're coming from, but oh yikes. But like, I don't know. But yeah, it like there's been a big boom of like good, at least for to me, good female protagonists.
Oh no, there definitely has been. I mean, shit. It wasn't necessarily a very good game, but from what I was able to tell, Kamala Khan in Marvel's Avengers went over really well.
I haven't really heard anything negative about her character, so at first glance, I think you're right. But yeah, like, yeah, I don't get why people are fucking mad. I don't even remember what we were talking.
Yeah, we really got on a fucking tangent.
Oh, Forspoken.
Yeah,
Forspoken. That was it. A lot of people are mad because A, female protagonist, B, black chick from New York, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly where. Maybe Queens, maybe Brooklyn. I don't fully remember.
Mm-hmm.
I would need to look that up. I will actually pull up that info in just a moment. But it's like, yeah, she's a younger gal on her own, like got shunted into a fantasy world and is one trying to figure out how to like fit in this world, all by basically being taken prisoner and like there's a prophecy and you know it's
your typical fantasy storyline.
Exactly.
It's what is it? It's fucking ordinary character in extraordinary environment. That's the kind of story it's telling.
Yeah, I think the actual word for that is like isekai or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Or isekai. Yeah, yeah, it just translates to different world or other world. It's a Japanese genre of portal fantasy.
Okay. So, yeah, like okay, so Square is doing some good things.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks gorgeous.
I'll have to check it out once we wrap up here.
Yeah.
But okay, man. So, whole reason this fucking podcast is getting recorded tonight. We were, you know, I had just gotten the Switch. We were sitting around talking, and I was like, man, we could probably say a lot about the fucking Zelda series. So, I figured why not just go through it and just fucking talk about it. And Fish was down for the idea. And as he usually is, I don't know if he just goes along with my ideas and is like, fuck it, here we go. Or if he's just like, yeah, that sounds cool.
A little bit of both.
Cool. That's what I want to hear.
Because like almost every conversation that we have, no matter the topic, devolves into some ridiculous bullshit, and it's a fun time anyways.
It really does.
But also we have like completely different experiences with Zelda.
Yeah. Very, very different. And to get the ball rolling here, and just like it did for the series itself, the original game, The Legend of Zelda, we didn't get it here in the US until 87, but it did technically come out in 86. So I have played probably half of this game. There was a point in time where I was really big into emulation, and I had just discovered the magic of online walkthroughs.
Fair.
Like, I think it's pretty safe to say that, like, as far as, like, probably up until, I'd say, 6th grade, my parents were pretty restrictive of my internet usage.
All right.
And it wasn't even really the fact that, like, after that point, it wasn't really that they restricted it. It was just that I didn't really know how to use the internet. You know what I mean? I didn't exactly knew what I had at my fingertips.
Usually, at least in our like day of growing up,
Yeah.
you didn't really figure out the internet until you were trying to look up tits.
Essentially, yeah. Like, let's be real here. But yeah, like, you really didn't start understanding how the internet worked until you got to that age, though. Now it's just like kids come out the fucking pussy knowing how to use the internet. Like, it's ridiculous, man. But anyways, we're getting off topic. But yeah, like, so I discovered the magic of online walkthroughs, specifically zeldadungeon.net, which is still a website that I go to for Zelda walkthroughs.
God, I haven't heard that link in a minute.
Dude, I still go there. The walkthroughs are just as good as they've always been. Me and Hannah are going through one of the games right now, and we're using one of their guides.
Oh, which game?
Link's Awakening. We're going through the Switch remake.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk about that one a little bit down the line here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first game, I obviously didn't get to experience it the way that most people did, which was on the original hardware. I think my first actual exposure to playing the original Legend of Zelda was you remember how on Super Smash Bros. Brawl you could unlock like a demo for the original 8 characters' original games?
Vaguely.
Yeah, okay, so
yeah.
I'll just go ahead and explain it a little more thoroughly. So, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which was the 3rd game in the series, I'm pretty sure that was the first game that had characters from, like, outside of first-party Nintendo IPs in it.
I think so, yeah.
With Sonic and Solid Snake. But, so, that game, you know, it was huge. And so one of the things that they did was for the original 8 characters, they had included like 2-minute demos of the original Mario Brothers, the original Kirby, the original Zelda. Basically, if it was a game that was available on the Virtual Console on the Wii at the time, there was probably a demo for it if that character was in Smash Brothers. So my very first exposure to The Legend of Zelda was a 2-minute demo on the Wii. And it was shortly after that I started using emulators and whatnot, and I picked up an NES emulator and this game, and I got about halfway through it. I remember I was over at my grandma's house, which is where I spent a lot of time freshman year. Um, I was over at my grandma's house using her laptop, and I was just playing through this game, and I got about halfway through it. And I don't know what happened. I think I either lost the save file, the emulator, the ROM, or all of the above, or honestly, maybe my interest just kind of fizzled out on it. I never really got too into it. It's a good game. Like, I think for me, it's too Nintendo hard, essentially.
Yeah,
Like, you know what that term is, right?
I think
So basically,
because like games back in the day were well, they were new. They were simplistic, but they were very difficult for what they were, especially compared to like how video games have come to work
like,
now.
perfect modern example, Elden Ring is Nintendo hard. Like, it's trial and error. You die, you die, you die again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, that's something that I've always said about the Souls, the From Software games, is they're Nintendo hard. That's the simplest way to explain how difficult they are. You die a lot, and you start over from one specific point a lot.
Mhm.
Like, that's just, like, because that's exactly how I felt playing Dark Souls 3. Playing Dark Souls 3 feels like playing the original Castlevania to me. To me, it is the same level of difficulty.
Okay.
But yeah, I really don't have too much experience with the first game. It's obviously it's the one that started it all, but at the same time, it is very dated, and I'm sure, like, I have the Nintendo Switch Online thing, so I have the NES library. If I had one of those NES Joy-Cons, the fucking controllers that they released,
Mhm.
if I had one of those, that's probably the closest I would get to actually playing on the original hardware today. Because,
Ooh, then I got a leg up.
well, yeah, because you've got the fucking Retron, don't you?
Oh no, I played. It wasn't for very long, and I wasn't very good. But I did play the original Legend of Zelda on the NES when I was a kid.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I didn't play it when I was a kid. Oh, actually, you know what? The closest that I have gotten to playing the original game on original hardware is the NES Classic Edition, the little mini one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I picked one of those up when it first came out, and obviously that was one of the first games I booted up when I hooked it up.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, I really don't have much experience with the first one. How about you?
I've gotten through like maybe a dungeon
Okay.
just because like I haven't played it much as I got older, but I used to play like a decent bit when I was younger. Mostly my main experience with Legend of Zelda when I was younger was on the Game Boy Color.
Hmm.
Not with Link's Awakening, but with like the Oracle games, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
which those were super
Oh
fun.
yeah. And we'll get
But
more in depth with those when we get there.
yeah, but the first two that came out on the NES, no, I have very little experience
Uh,
with either one. Two is even less.
so actually, since we're kind of in that area, and it really doesn't sound like either of us have much to say more about the first one, let's actually move on to the second game, The Adventure of Link. Uh,
The most experience I have with Adventure of Link is watching the Game Grumps play it.
really, that's it?
I have not, like, I've touched it personally
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3 times in my life.
Okay. I'd say that's an understandable number of times. So for me personally, I'm I'm pretty sure, yeah, no. I didn't play I didn't play the first. I played Zelda 2 before I played the original Zelda.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a friend that lived around the corner from me when I lived in my childhood home still. And I don't remember what game I traded him, but he traded me the Game Boy Advance port of Zelda 2 for it.
Hmm.
I'd never felt more ripped off in my entire life. Because
Well,
I, for the life of me, I cannot remember what game I traded him, but it was definitely better than Zelda 2.
oh, for sure.
Because, like, so Zelda 2, you know, you have to, and you also have to remember the mindset that a kid my age, who was born in 1995, playing this game for the first time in, I would say, fifth or sixth grade. So that would have been 2006, 2005 to 2007, somewhere.
Mhm.
First time playing Zelda 2, we already have so many other Zelda titles at this point. Like, I should have started the conversation with this. My first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time. I remember going to, I believe it was Target with my dad to pick it up for the Nintendo 64.
I think mine was the first Legend of Zelda, only because my neighbor had an NES.
Okay.
Or well, they had the game. I had an NES as well because it was an old one that eventually ended up breaking, but it was actually over here at Grandma's. I think it was Uncle Danny's.
Because from what
Um,
I can remember, or I'll cut this out if you want me to. You were born 90, 91?
92.
92. So, yeah, you're older than the Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
and yeah, N64 came out in 97, 98 because Ocarina of Time came out in 98.
Yeah, I think it's probably safe to say it came out in Japan in 97, 98 in America. Let me just look that up and confirm. N64 release date. Oh, no. 96 across the board.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
released in Japan and North America in 96. Only a couple of months apart. June in Japan,
Oh, okay.
September in America.
So yeah, I had the original Nintendo, and we had Super Mario Duck Hunt combo,
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
which of course
To steal a
it's like,
line from Wayne's World, that came in the mail with samples of Tide.
but yeah, there was that. My neighbor had both the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street games, which Nightmare on Elm Street on the NES back in the day, like that, I had a fucking blast on that game. We had, I think we got to like the third house. Like consistently, we'd be able to get to the third house, but we'd have trouble past that.
I don't even.
So like we were actually pretty decent at the game.
I'm gonna be 100%. I didn't even know there was a Nightmare on Elm Street game for the NES. I knew about the Friday the 13th one because it's fucking garbage.
It's not as garbage.
It's better than Jekyll and Hyde.
You right. But I for as shit as it is, I really enjoy it.
I mean,
but yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Very fun. Very, very fun. But yeah. So that was my experience with like the NES was mostly those games.
right. But yeah, I totally forgot that like you predate the N64. So yeah, your first exposure probably wouldn't have been Ocarina.
But the first game, or the first Zelda game that I owned was Game Boy Color with Oracle of Seasons.
Got it.
That was the very first game I ever owned.
Got it. Okay, we got way off track. Zelda 2.
Oh almost no experience.
Yeah,
I remember seeing Link as basically a goat man,
essentially.
and it unsettled me, and I didn't play it.
Yeah, like I said, I got it on for the Game Boy Advance. I traded someone for it. I felt really fucking ripped off, just simply because, right, back to the original point. Holy fuck, I remembered it. um,
I was taking a drink, you shit.
My original point was that by the time that I had played Zelda 2, I had played so many other Zelda games. By the, Zelda games that the formula had been figured out.
Yeah.
Zelda 2 obviously is kind of like a... Actually, no, I can't even call it that. I was going to say it's like a Super Mario Brothers 2 situation, but the reason why Super Mario Brothers 2 is so different from the first game is because it literally is a different game. They just put Mario sprites in it.
Yeah.
But Zelda 2 was like completely different from the original game. And for most people who are probably like me, because from what I know is people who played Zelda 2 growing up did enjoy it because it was all they had. Like, you had the first Zelda game, which was one way, and then you had the second Zelda game, which was another way. And that was just kind of how games were back then. It was like the fucking Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
So, for people that grew up with this game, yeah, it's probably not as bad as people who played it after other titles in the series were already out probably think of it. Like I tried playing it like just last night, actually. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. And a big part of it is probably because the visual style is a little off-putting, like going from the very low-detailed overworld to the very high-detailed side-scrolling world. It is very jarring, especially if I'm gonna keep bringing up the point of fucking if you've played the other games before this.
Right.
It's very jarring, but also at the same time, the main thing that really off-puts me about Zelda 2 is the RPG element, actually. Like,
oh god, that's
yeah,
right.
like you actually have to grind for like XP and shit in a Zelda game. Like, Breath of the Wild is the most RPG as the series has gotten recently, but there's still no XP involved.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, Zelda 2, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm really not. Maybe one of these days we'll hop on the Switch Online and do a fucking handoff playthrough. Because that's something you can do with the Switch Online service.
Oh, good lord. All right, I'm down. I'm gonna hate it, but I'm down.
Fine, I'm gonna complain the whole time, but I'll do it.
It's fucking. It's just like straight up.
It's brutal.
Like, no, it's not even that. It's just like straight up. Link looks like a satyr, and it's off-putting. I don't like it.
Well, we'll start.
Or at least the animation makes him look like he's about to go bah at any moment.
Well, here, how about we get off the subject so you can stop thinking about it, and move on to the next entry in the series, A Link to the Past.
When did Mr. Tumnus get a tunic? Yes, Link to the Past. So I don't have any experience with it on its original system, the SNES, but I played a fuck ton of it on the Game Boy Advance port.
Okay, so you did play the Game Boy Advance port of this one.
Yes.
Okay. That's
religiously.
I think this was actual. I think the Game Boy Advance version was my first introduction to Link to the Past as well, because I had a cousin who also was super big into the Game Boy Advance, and he brought this game over to my grandma's when we were both over there one day, and I absolutely fucking loved it.
Yeah, and this was the version that had 4 swords attached to it.
Yeah, I never got to play 4 Swords.
Same.
Um,
Didn't have anyone with the game or a link cable who wanted to play.
yeah. Well, so
So yeah.
I did get to play it a little bit later on. We'll get into that a little bit down the line when we're talking about like spin-offs and stuff, because there are some important ones. There are some that are
Uh-huh.
less important to talk about, but yeah. I actually I didn't really appreciate Link to the Past until I got a lot older. If I'm being 100% truthful, like I enjoyed when I played it on the Game Boy, but I played it the same way that I played every other Zelda game up to that point, which is play through till about the first dungeon. I'm an idiot fucking little kid. This game doesn't really necessarily point me in the direction that I need to go in. I'm gonna go play fucking Kingdom Hearts instead. Um,
Fucking
and
oof.
get stuck on the deep jungle. um,
Oh God.
but yeah, so I didn't really appreciate A Link to the Past until I got older, and by the time I got older, I had actually uh this is another one where it's like I kind of have played it on the original hardware as a technicality because I currently own the Super NES Classic.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got that, and yeah, I actually really do enjoy A Link to the Past. It's the one that put in place the formula that I fell in love with. And I know a lot of people have kind of become disenchanted with it over the years because I will admit it has been the same formula for over 25 years. And we'll get into it much later on in talking about this series.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Link to the Past was the one that started the formula that continued on for a really long time. Your name is Link. More than likely, you woke up. Because that is how 90% of Zelda games start, is Link waking up.
Yeah, and this one, like he gets a like a telepathic message from Zelda, which wakes him up in the middle of a storm.
Yeah, exactly. And fucking his uncle, Purple Hair Magoo, goes off. Apparently, for a long time, I thought he died. He actually doesn't die. He's in the end credits. I've never beaten A Link to the Past, so I wouldn't know this.
Fucking same. I'm pretty sure he was just done.
Yeah, I thought he was dead all this time, but apparently he's not. But yeah, so and then it went through that. It started, you know, continuing on about like the formula of Zelda games. You go through 3 dungeons, you get the Master Sword, and then you go through 6 more dungeons. You you go through 6 more dungeons in an alternate world.
Yes, the dark.
Yeah, because that was one of the things, because that continued on into the next console entry into the series, but we're not quite there yet, actually. We'll get there, getting way ahead of myself, but yeah, this is the version of the game that introduced this game is the one that introduced the Master Sword, for fuck's sake.
It also introduced Ganon.
No, Ganon was in the original.
Well, with the current formula.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did introduce that current formula. Yeah.
But you're right. The original was. But yeah, it brought a more cohesive story, or at least a more upfront story with all of it. In talking about the Triforce, the 7 Sages, Ganondorf, the Master Sword. Like, obviously all of that stuff was in like the original and possibly 2. Sure.
I think Ganondorf was a creation of Ocarina of Time. But Ganon definitely, like, because you got to remember, for some weird reason, he becomes a completely different entity when he goes into Big Pig Man.
Link is told by a priest in the sanctuary that Aghanim, a wizard who usurped the throne and bewitched the king's soldiers, is planning to break a seal. Blah 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 blah. to imprison the Dark Wizard Ganon in the Dark World, which was known as the Sacred Realm before Ganon, then known as Ganondorf,
Oh,
invaded it, obtained the Triforce, and used the power to engulf the realm in dark.
interesting. I didn't know that was a part of Link to the Past. I
Yes.
did not know that. That's incredible.
But yeah, this so basically you go through 3 dungeons to get the 3 pendants, each talking about a piece of the Triforce, courage, wisdom, power.
Yeah.
You get those 3 pendants, you're able to get the Master Sword, and then you can go through some rigmarole to get a magic mirror and go into the Dark World.
Yes, and through that,
And then from the going into the Dark World, you have to get 7 crystals, I believe.
yeah,
And then go to Ganon's Tower, and then
fight the Pigman.
Exactly. And then I got through, I think, 5 out of the 7 crystals.
Did you get stuck on the ice temple? Because
I need to try and
because I think
remember
that's where
what
most
the
people
dungeons are.
got stuck. I mean, shit, that continued, or yeah, that dungeon continued to fucking stump people in the sequel to Link to Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds.
Which I have not actually gone through. I've heard good things about it. But yeah.
I'll talk more about it later on. Because technically, it even though it's a sequel and it takes place in the same world, it is a later entry in the series.
No, I finished the Ice Palace. I was on my way to Misery Mire.
Got it. Okay.
Which is the 6th crystal dungeon.
Got it.
No, I got up to Turtle Rock. I recognize that boss. I got up to the last boss before going to Ganon's Tower.
That's fucking hilarious. But also tragic.
I just never beat it, I guess.
Oh my god.
Like I knew that because I haven't I haven't beaten any of the Zelda games with the exception of no, I the only one I've properly beaten up until recently was Skyward Sword, and then I got through Oracle of Seasons on stream.
Got it.
A couple years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was a fun one. But yeah, outside of that, I've gotten very close to beating quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten a couple dungeons into Adult Link in Ocarina of Time, but that was about it. I never really understood Majora's Mask, so I never played it.
Got it. That's another one that me and you might have to do a stream together on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because now that all of these games are on the Switch Online service, we can do that.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, so Link to the Past is while I haven't played it very much, I do enjoy it a lot because it is what started a lot of what made me fall in love with the series in general. But moving on with the series, brings us to Link's Awakening, the first game to be on a handheld system. And it's exclusive to it as well.
Not one that I ever played, although I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, so Link's Awakening was the first game that didn't take place in Hyrule.
Yeah, it was on an island or something.
Yeah,
right?
It takes place on a island called Koholint Island. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Koholint Island.
But I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to. But yeah, so growing up, I did not get through very much of this game. Once again, it was one of those situations where I could probably get to the second dungeon, and because I was a stupid fucking kid, I would get stuck in the second dungeon. And because this was at a period of time before I either A, knew how to use an online walkthrough, or B, had internet even.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I remember when my family got our first PC. So I had to be pretty old if I can actually remember it. um, but yeah, so I just, for years, I never got further than, I can tell you exactly where I would get stuck every time. Second dungeon, I would get all the way to the end of the dungeon, and I could not figure out how to get the boss key. Because there's a room where you have to defeat the enemies in a specific order. And if you don't beat them in this order, the key doesn't show up. I didn't know what the fuck I
Ooh.
didn't know what the fucking key was. Or like I didn't know what the fucking correct order was. And obviously, being a dumbass fucking kid, I didn't really know much about trial and error. So for years I was stuck on that second dungeon, and then once again years later, after I discovered the magic of emulation and online walkthroughs, I think I still haven't finished that game. I've
That's the main
I've
takeaway.
gotten a lot further in it in the original Game Boy version, because I used to actually own Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color. Um and Oddly enough, that was a re-release that came out just before Ocarina of Time did. It either came out right before or right after Ocarina of Time. Uh but yeah, because obviously the original Game Boy, otherwise known as the Brick Boy, only displayed things in, like, I can't even call it black and white, but like black and green. You-
Yeah, well that yeah. It's like a yellowish tinted screen
Yeah.
with a diffuser, or yeah, a diffuser layer. That's actually how the pixels show up.
Huh.
It's kind of wild.
Interesting.
Yeah, look into the Game Boy hardware and see how it works. It's
I'll
fascinating,
definitely have to do that.
because I only found out about that because of restoration
Huh.
videos. Because I've got some stuff that I want to restore, and I'm like, how do I do that? And then just went down the rabbit hole.
But yeah, so I didn't play the original version. I played the re-release, which was in full color because Game Boy Color, and it came with a new dungeon called the Color Dungeon, and something I had forgotten about because I didn't own one, so I couldn't utilize this feature. There was a photo shack, because there was this mouse that would show up every now and again and take your fucking picture. And
The,
if you had a Game Boy printer, you could print out these pictures that he would take of you when you went to go visit him at his shop.
oh, that's
Yeah,
wild.
it was a really cool feature, and I really wish I'd have gotten to utilize it. They actually very cleverly replaced it in the Switch remake of the game, which I guess that's a fucking perfect segue as any. Yeah, this game was remade for the Nintendo Switch. I think it was back in, it was either 2019, it was either late 2019 or early 2020, because early 20
Late 2019.
Okay, yeah, cuz early 2020 was when I got rid of my Switch originally.
Released worldwide September 20th, 2019.
Okay. So yeah. Um and I was absolutely excited when I heard there was a remake of Link's Awakening come out, because like I said, while I couldn't get very far in it, it was my favorite game on the Game Boy. It was like, it didn't matter how many times I had to start over from the beginning of the game and get stuck at the same point only to just start over again. I absolutely fucking loved this game.
Mm.
And fuck, I don't know if I have the VOD. Oh god. Do I have the VOD? I'll have to check for it later. But when I played this new remake on stream, the fully animated opening actually made me fucking cry.
Oh, no
Yeah,
shit.
you didn't notice that on stream?
I wasn't able to catch that
Oh, I
stream.
thought you were there for that one. But yeah,
No, I think I may have. If I did come in, it was later.
yeah, so yeah, if you've played the Game Boy version, you'll see that there are like these very highly detailed like sprite, and I can't even call them sprite animations because they're it's pixel art, but it's done like in a stop motion animation kind of way. So like there's only like maybe 3 frames, but like it conveys movement.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch that opening cutscene over and over and over and over on my Game Boy screen growing up on car rides, maybe just sitting at home bored and I'm not playing the Nintendo 64. Like, I watched that cutscene over and over and over. So to see it fully animated, like, I literally wept. I actually fucking cried. Let me put it this way. Watching this opening sequence was probably, for me, was how most Critical Role fans felt seeing animation from Legends of Vox Machina for the first time.
Yeah, that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, dude, I'll have to see if I still have the VOD. I'm pretty sure that I don't, because I think that was definitely past the time where I was saving my VODs on YouTube. It would be a miracle if it did make it. Like, if I'm being 100%. Yeah, no. The most recent Oh, the most recent exported VOD. You want to know when it's from?
When is it?
October 11th, 2019. So just before it came out.
October? No, it came out in September.
Oh, maybe I do have it. Let's see. Nope, I only have 2 exported VODs. Oh no, I don't even have any exported VODs. I just have um I just have a couple of videos from that point in time. Fuck. I guess I must have never exported those, which sucks.
Oh no.
But that's okay. But yeah, so seeing that cutscene fully animated for the first time it made me feel like a little kid again. It was just one of those like very rare moments where I actually feel like a kid again. Uh but yeah, so in order to replace that, like, the photo mode thing, or not the photo mode, but the Photo Shack guy, they replaced him with with Dampy the Gravekeeper, who's been in multiple entries.
Oh, nice.
And he basically runs like a create your own dungeon shop. So whenever you finish a dungeon, pieces of that dungeon will get added to this place, and you can make your own dungeon by mixing and matching pieces from other dungeons.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah. That sounds fucking awesome.
But yeah, fucking Link's Awakening is an absolute joy. If you haven't played it, I would highly suggest either picking up the remaster or heading down to a retro game shop and picking up a Game Boy, or dusting off your old one and just picking up a new copy of this game. I would definitely recommend it. It is a treat to go through. Like, it's
Oof. It's too bad we didn't do this podcast last year, because I'm pretty sure the 3DS store was still available at the time, and it was on there, the DX version.
Yep, and unfortunately, I don't think they're.
Because
Did they already go down, or are they?
I believe they did.
eShop close. March 2023. So if
Ooh.
yeah, so if you have a 3DS and you want to play this game, like if you don't have a Switch and you have a 3DS and you want to play Link's Awakening, pick it up while you still can. You can definitely still get it. Shit, that honestly, fuck. Abandon ship. Grab all your shit. Fucking you know, I'll bring this up at the end of this episode. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and put a pin in the Zelda conversation here. Because we are just about to break into the 3D era of Zelda games. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark, but I do actually want to take some time to talk about some bad publicity that Nintendo's been getting recently.
Oh, like what?
So there's been a lot going on with Nintendo as far as the world of copyright, but when isn't there?
Yeah, fair.
So recently, a YouTube channel got hit by Nintendo because it was uploading Nintendo soundtracks. Now, here's the thing. I do not know if these videos were monetized or not. Excuse me. I don't know if these videos were monetized or not, but I mean, if it led to the channel getting shut down, I think I could safely assume that they are, or they were. This channel got taken down, and people are losing their shit about it. And the big reason that people are losing their shit about it is because Nintendo doesn't make their soundtracks available to listen to. Like they don't release their soundtracks. You there?
Actually, I didn't know that.
You didn't know what? That they don't release their soundtracks?
Yeah, because there's some stuff that, like, it was available for a while. But then again, that may have been, like, exclusives or, like, incentives for, like, pre-orders
Yeah,
or something.
I think most...
Like, I'm pretty sure Skyward Sword, for example, is, like, a more recent entry, had... Like, it had a soundtrack with,
yeah,
like, the collector's edition or something,
no,
right?
every version of the game came with it. Because it was a special CD that came with Breath of the Wild or not Breath of the Wild, I'm a fucking idiot. It was a special CD that came with every copy of Skyward Sword to celebrate the 25th anniversary.
That's right, it was for the 25th anniversary.
So that wasn't like a pre-order thing, that just came with every copy of the game. But yeah, like, they used to do stuff like that, but yeah, when it comes to, like, their soundtracks being released, I think for the most part, yeah, I think it was very limited time stuff, where it was very rare that you could get it. But I know at one point in time they did, because I had a buddy in middle school who had the Majora's Mask soundtrack on CD. Like an official CD of Majora's Mask soundtrack. Like, so at one point in time they did do this, but you know, obviously and if I'm being honest, unless it's a game that has like a super impressive soundtrack like Doom or fucking save me here. I don't play that many games.
There's honestly quite a few games that offer a soundtrack like edition as either DLC or like a collector's edition incentive or like deluxe edition or whatever. Fucking Rocket League is one of them. Or actually with the purchase like on Steam, you just straight up get the soundtrack.
Yeah, I was about to say with Rocket League, like don't they have a partnership with Monster Cat? Yeah.
They do. But yeah, there are, Actually, a lot of games, particularly on Steam, nowadays have a you know, soundtrack DLC, or oh, this is included with the more advanced version or
Okay.
whatever.
So, but yeah, I guess with Nintendo, it's not a very regular thing anymore. And
Yeah.
so a lot of people are saying, well, you know, that's not fair. Like, how else are we supposed to listen to this stuff if we want to listen to it? Like, that's, you
If it's not offered anywhere, where yeah.
right. And here's where I'm going to kind of like, I'm going to sound like a complete jackass, but I don't care because this is my stance on it. If you want to pirate shit for your own personal use, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Like, if you don't want to fucking pay the $12 to go see No Way Home in theaters, or you don't want to fucking risk going out to go see No Way Home in theaters, fucking pirate it. I don't give a shit. Like, Disney's not gonna fucking lose money over it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because people like me are like, as soon as it comes out on fucking Blu-ray, I'm
Oh,
picking
fuck.
it up.
Dude, the Blu-ray comes out on my birthday. I have to get it.
Oh shit, that's right.
um, uh, like, I don't care if it's for personal use. But if you are uploading these soundtracks somewhere and you're profiting off of it, that's not okay. That's
Right.
where the line is fucking drawn. Like, and granted,
Yeah,
it's the same argument that I just fucking made. Oh yeah, it's the same argument that I just made. Nintendo's not gonna fucking lose any money over this. I'm not really concerned about Nintendo. I'm concerned about the composer.
Yeah.
Like, granted, yes, the composer still gets fucking royalties, I'm sure, every time a copy of the game sells. But when it comes to you uploading somebody else's music and you are making money off of it, you are stealing somebody else's work. You are making money off of somebody else's work. That is not your fucking property. Like, that would be like me selling my neighbor's car. Because, oh, he hasn't fucking used it. You know, fucking, he hasn't been fucking using it. I can fucking sell it. He doesn't care. He's not doing anything with it. He's got plenty of money. No. That doesn't make stealing okay. You know, and it's just, it makes me sound like a fucking shill more than anything, because I'm sitting here defending Nintendo doing things that are anti-fan, quote unquote. But at the same time, you've got to draw a line somewhere.
Copyright laws exist for a reason. At the same time, if the music is there, like, no one's profiting, but if it's just there to just chill and listen to, who's it hurting?
That's one thing. But if Nintendo felt the need to take action on this guy so hard that the channel had to be taken down, I'm assuming that this person was probably making money off of it.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, dude. You fucking gambled hard and you fucking lost. That's the bottom line when it comes to that kind of shit. Like, granted...
Yeah. It's just too bad that, like, with all of this, Nintendo isn't at least coming out and being like, well, if that many people wanted soundtracks, then go to the website. We might have soundtracks now.
See, that's the thing, is Nintendo makes these... And here's where I go, like, where it's going to sound like, oh, I'm switching sides of the fence to make myself look good. Fucking, like, that's where I feel like Nintendo is fucking up in these situations. They take action on these kind of things, but they don't offer up a solution. Like, I guess you could argue that at one point in time they did. Like, I just kind of realized when all of the ROM websites like got hit really hard. Like, do you remember like all of the ROM websites we used to go to back in the day?
Oh, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So
I
you remember
remember.
that
I'm
point in
so
time
upset.
when they all got hit really fucking hard. Like all of the first party Nintendo stuff got taken off. And all of like all of like the third party stuff that they have very close relationships with were gone. I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty sure that that all happened around the time that they released a lot of that stuff in the eShop. So at that point in time, people couldn't make the argument of, well, fuck, how else am I supposed to get these games? You guys don't have them. You guys don't have them available. And and that's now the argument that people are using to pirate Nintendo games once again. And it's like, granted, once again, if you're doing it for personal use, I don't give a shit. But if you're one of the people, but if you're someone who's just like, yo, fucking $50, I'll give you access to this Google Drive folder, like, you know what I mean?
And also, just because you have it doesn't mean you can stream it. Just so long as you got the physical thing, you're
Yeah,
fine. If it's only emulation,
you're playing with
you're
fire.
kind of SOL
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
So just some to
yeah,
keep in
something
mind.
to chew on. Like, yeah, have I thought about doing emulation? Bunch of times. Bunch of fucking times. Have I ever done it? No, because I'm fucking scared that, like, it's gonna be like that moment from fucking Family Guy when Peter tries to record Monday Night Football and the guy just comes out of his TV and smashes his fucking VCR. I'm afraid that's gonna happen to my computer.
See, like here's the thing. So if you like say I wanted to do like a Pokemon stream. So I want to do what's it? Soul Silver for the
Okay.
DS. I don't have the physical hardware to be able to hook up to my computer to be able to record and
But
stream that
nobody can prove that you
because
don't have that.
well what I'm talking about is the device itself. Because DSs and 3DSs there were at one point capture devices that you could hook up to those. Granted they had to be soldered into the device
Yeah, so you
itself.
had to send your fucking device away to some fucking. I remember that because I looked into it at one point.
Yeah, so did I. But like here's the alternative. Do you physically own that device? Yes. Do you physically own that game? Yes. Emulation's fine then, because you can prove ownership of both of those
Right.
things.
You.
So
The
that's
only thing. The
if
only
you
time it crosses into a gray area is, well, how can you prove that that what you're playing is the ROM that you dumped from that cartridge?
I don't think there really is a way to track that,
Well,
honestly.
and that's what I mean. That's why it's a gray area because you can't prove that. You can't prove whether you did in fact rip your own cartridge or if you just got it from some jagoff on the internet. But yeah, like I I don't have a problem with emulation. I don't have a problem with pirating. Do what you fucking want. Like I don't fucking care. Just and that brings us to today's sponsor, NordVPN. No, I'm totally.
Co-sponsored by
I'm
Surfshark.
totally kidding. I don't have any kind of fucking sponsor for this shit.
Do you think we're big enough for sponsors? Who the fuck do you think we are?
Talented.
My guy, I wish.
But yeah, like I don't know. I know it's all very weird with Nintendo, but like okay, so everyone's freaking out about the fact that like, well, I guess it's time to start pirating Nintendo games again because, you won't be able to get them anywhere officially. My guy, Nintendo has been consistently releasing their older games via the Nintendo Switch Online service They just started doing Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis, I found out while doing some fucking digging through it.
Uh-huh.
Through the expansion pass. My guy, you really think that I give it about 3 months. So, let's say eShop shuts down in March 2023, right?
Uh-huh.
So, I would say by the end of the next quarter, at least, and fucking, if there is someone out there listening to this in retrospect, go ahead and feel free to send this to whatever fucking poorly aged moments page you follow. Fucking the next immediate quarter, or a couple, or sometime before or shortly after that, Nintendo is going to announce that Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, and more than likely DS games, will be coming to the Nintendo Online service over a period of time. They are
That would be pretty rad.
going full send into they are going full send into their online service and putting their old games on these services. They're going full send with it. Like, granted, are these services missing some games? Yeah, a couple of them. Like, one that I know. Well, yeah, obviously it's not the entire libraries, but like the games that everybody talks about for the most part are the N64 library just got released, so we got to give that one a little bit of time. But
Yeah.
as far as the NES and Super Nintendo libraries, those have pretty much all of the classic games that people talk about. Aside from, the licensed titles like fucking Ninja Turtles and shit like that.
Peter Pan for the SNES.
Exactly, like all those licensed type things. Like,
I miss that
like,
game.
yeah, those games aren't on there, but that's because Nintendo doesn't own them. Like, that's just simple logic, fair, But
Actually, when you were saying that, I was thinking more like, oh yeah, fucking Donkey Kong and no, Donkey Kong Country. I just remembered is on the N64.
But yeah, like one of the games that's noticeably missing from the Super Nintendo library is Super Castlevania. You can fucking blame is that Konami or Capcom? I think that's Konami. Is it Capcom?
I believe it is.
I gotta look it up because I'm not 100%. I can never remember. Castlevania games.
Oh, published by Konami. I'm surprised.
Okay.
I could have sworn that was a Capcom series.
So Konami fucking yeah, we've got, so with the reason why you can't fucking play Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo library is because Capcom, or I fucking get it mixed up too. Konami doesn't want that interfering with their fucking classic package sales.
I think I know why we keep getting Konami and Capcom mixed up. Because there's so many discussions about fucking Resident Evil versus Silent Hill.
And that's Capcom versus Konami, isn't it?
Exactly. So those names are always in our mouths.
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. But yeah, so like that makes sense. It's like, yeah, does it suck that game's not in the Super Nintendo library? Yes, but at the same time, I'm not too broken up over it. And the people that are broken up over it, they'll probably just shell out the $15 to get like I think it's like a 6-game package. Hold on a second. Castlevania, I think it's like called like the Anniversary series.
Yeah,
yeah, Anniversary Collection.
I think I've got that one.
It's $20 and it has what? Oh, good lord. It's got Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 3, Super Castlevania 4, Castlevania The Adventure, Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania Bloodlines, Kid Dracula Never Before Released in English, and History of Castlevania Book of the Crescent Moon. So people who are that broken up about those games not being on there, they'll just go buy this. They'll drop $20 to get literally basically half the series. Because I think that is everything pre Dracula X Rondo of Blood Symphony of the Night era.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, Capcom, like, god damn it! Konami knows that they would lose money on that. Because it's like, well, why would I pay $20 for this? Why would I pay $20 to play Castlevania 1 through 4 when I can just basically play it for the price of my online subscription? Like, that's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but, yeah, I think it... And I mean, shit, it may even happen sooner, but I think there's a good chance that this time next year, or I say a year and a half from now, we're probably going to be talking about the fact that Game Boy games just came to the Switch. And is that a long time from now? Yeah, but that's also, but we still have another year of the 3DS Wii U eShop before it officially gets shut down. Which means you have plenty of time to fucking pick up whatever fucking games you want, because it's not like you won't be able to play them once the eShop goes down. I think downloading them might be a little more difficult. So you might want to fucking pick up a micro SD card while you're at it.
Yep.
But yeah, like, get your shit, get it together, put it in a bag, and just get your shit together. Like, granted, I know I'm sitting here just being like, oh, just fucking throw some money at it. Like, I would be doing that. No, that's not what I'm fucking doing. I'm just gonna sit here and patiently wait for the shit. Because I sat here and waited out the N64 one, and guess what? By the time I ended up picking up a new Switch, the N64 library was there, and literally the next day after I got it, they added Majora's Mask to the library. So, nice. Look, I know I sound like a fucking, well, just fucking pay for it. Just fucking pay for it. Just pay for this fucking 30, 40-year-old game. I know that's what I sound like. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm very weird about this kind of stuff for some reason. It's like you know what it is? It's people complaining about problems that aren't there. It's like, yes, it sucks that the eShop is getting shut down. It sucks that these sources for getting these games is going to be gone. You still have time to get them before they're completely gone. Like, you do understand that. It was the same thing with the Wii. When they announced that the Wii Shop was getting shut down, they announced it like 2 years before it actually got shut down.
Yeah. We still have plenty of time to take care of it, so just take the initiative.
Just, and hey, if you can't afford it, it sucks, but that's just how it goes. I can't afford to do it. I would love to be able to hop off of this podcast right now, fire up my 3DS, and buy every single fucking game, every single retro game that I want on the 3DS shop. But I can't fucking do that because I can't fucking afford it. But that's at least an option for another year for me. At least another year. Like, I haven't relied on emulation in a good long while, because for the most part, I have ways to play all of my stuff in a legit way now. Granted, it took a few years, but I would honestly say from the time I was 14, that was about the time that I met you, because you're the one who introduced me to the wonderful world of emulation.
You're welcome.
So from 2009 up until, I would say, 2017, 2016, I utilized the fuck out of piracy, emulation, all that fucking shit. I fucking took advantage of it like a motherfucker. But now that I'm in a position where I can actually legitimately play all of this stuff and legitimately obtain the, the games and programs that I want to use and play, I'm going to take that route. Just because, yeah, and granted, oh, you just want to support Nintendo. Da, 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 da. Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. I want to support the devs that work on these fucking games, man. If you're sitting, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this kind of piracy is okay, but this kind of piracy is not. I'm not going to sit here and fucking do that, but if you fucking pirate modern games, you're kind of an asshole. Especially in modern games. Because, it is very public, all of the fucking shit that devs have to go through now. I'm not talking about publishers, I'm talking about developers. The people that put their fucking blood, sweat, and jizz into these fucking games. I don't want to fucking hear it. Oh, well, fucking, this game was fucking buggy as hell. Yeah, you know why? You know why it was fucking buggy as hell? Because the publisher pushed them to fucking release a game that wasn't fucking finished. Most of the issues that people have with games now is because of publishing. Now, for self-published games, such as fucking Cyberpunk 2077 and Fallout 76, those are on them. That's just talking a big game and not being able to back it up. Although from what I hear, Cyberpunk's a lot better.
Once they got their shit together, yeah.
But
one of the things was oh yeah, shareholders are starting to pull out. So we got to hurry up and release this game, and then we'll fix it later on down the line. And that was definitely the wrong call.
But yeah, there are devs that work really hard on these fucking games. Composers, fucking 3D modelers, artists, you fucking name it. I mean, does anybody, I know I'm probably, I don't know if I'm very unique in saying this, but do people sit and watch the credits for games anymore?
No.
It's oh my god, these credits are so long. Yeah, because all of these fucking people worked on this game. And if you pirated that fucking game, those are all of the fucking people that you just robbed of a fucking paycheck. That shit adds up, man.
I mean, even doing sound effects, just like this,
yeah, sound folly.
That's $300 right there.
Dude, granted, I get it. Fucking, I don't want to support big bad corporations, so I'm gonna be fucking badass. I'm gonna be fucking cool. Yeah, sure, whatever. But just remember, you being badass and you being fucking cool is coming at the cost of other people's fucking livelihoods.
Yeah. Publishers will get a paycheck. Developers can get dissolved.
Yeah.
I mean, look at EA versus Visceral.
Look at fucking the fucking company that made the Walking Dead games. Yeah.
Oh, Telltale?
That was another fucked situation. But it can happen just like that. Just like that. Everything's fucking gone. You were just fucking working on one of the greatest fucking things you've ever fucking worked on, and literally in 30 seconds, you don't have a fucking job anymore.
And not everyone's as lucky to be able to take their development company and be able to go independent like Kojima was.
That's just...
And that's another interesting one that we don't have time for. Fucking Kojima versus Konami. Good
lord. Is it Kojima versus Konami or Kojima versus Capcom?
They fucked up
Ugh.
Silent Hill. Of course, it's
Oh,
Konami.
bro. Dude, I would actually love to play a game like I would actually love to play that game, Kojima versus Konami, and have it made by Capcom.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rad. But I
Yeah,
think
I think we
we're definitely over
yeah,
2
no,
hours.
I think we should definitely put a stop to it here. But yeah, uh, tune in next time for more just fucking random bullshit, and we'll be continuing on getting into the 3D era of the Zelda games. Fish, go ahead and tell them where they can find you at.
So I have a Twitter that I'm not entirely active on, but still put up updates for if I stream. I have a Twitch that I stream to, but I'm most active on a D&D live stream called Stream for Initiative. And it's getting kind of wild.
At the 4 Initiative on Twitter.
Yes. And if you look it up on Twitch, stream the number 4 Initiative. It's a fun time. We're getting it's very RP heavy, and the RP is getting heavy. Like there's a lot of fucked shit going on right now. Story wise, it's beautiful.
God, I love to hear it. But yeah, Fish Kid Mal, go fucking follow him on YouTube, follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch. Go fucking follow Stream for Initiative. The campaign is a lot of fun to watch. This cast of characters that they have together, they all, not the cast of characters, but just the players that they have together for this campaign, they all work really well off of each other. The characters are honestly all really fun to watch. I highly suggest to anyone that enjoys D&D or watching D&D to go check out this stream. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. So at FishKidMal on Twitter, twitch.tv/FishKidMal on Twitch. We'll put the YouTube link down in the description because I don't know if it's an actual link.
And the other thing is, for anyone who is interested in checking out the D&D stream, unless something changes later on down the line, we've been consistently starting 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern.
So yeah, fucking Stream for Initiative
on Sundays, every Sunday.
So just quick recap of all the fucking D&D stuff. Fucking the channel's called Stream for Initiative. Twitch.tv stream the number 4 Initiative. They go live every Sunday at 7:00. If things change, they will always tweet things out at the 4 Initiative. Once again, the number 4. And if you really want to fucking stay up to date with their shit, go fucking join their Discord. If I can get a link for it from Fish, I will gladly put it in the description of this video.
If we're not able to put something into the description, if you go to the Twitch page or to the Twitter page, we should have a link to the Discord in those 2 places.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, as for me, I'm Crazy Ian. You can find me at Crazy Game Time, twitch.tv/Crazy Game Time. I'm trying, with the way things have been going lately, I think I'm potentially getting ready to be on at least a 1 stream a week kind of schedule. I'm hoping I can get to that point.
Same.
But yeah, you can find me there. You can find me on YouTube. I don't exactly know where this podcast is being uploaded. I might upload it to our combination channel. Yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna put this fucking thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking Crazy Game Time. That's where you can find me. And until then, I'm Crazy Ian. He is Fish Kid Mal. Fish Kid Mal? Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if that's how it was pronounced.
Yes,
It's been
Mal.
years, and I'm sure I've asked you dozens of times. Anyways, this has been the Derailed podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. We will catch you guys in the next one.
Such a fucking moron.